Hello and welcome to this podcast that we're starting. I'm William Hartz.
And I'm James Fish.
So basically this podcast is on all of nerdom. Although we haven't actually come up with a name for that, it's actually going to be the first part of this episode.
Basically,
Welcome to episode 1.
over a podcast, you're going to be looking at multiple things which nerds love. Films, animes, games,
Warhammer.
and D&D if anyone's interested. Hell, we're going to talk about it anyway. Deal with it. Right. First off, names.
Okay, so I've been thinking quite a bit about the name, okay? And I came up with a couple of ideas. I can't remember any of them. I worked so hard. Podcast. Yeah, we had one idea would be Fogcast, which is taking the piss out of the idea of Silent Hill having fog in it.
Which was always to do with the rendering. Silent Hill. Because
I don't know, Fogcast just makes it sound like we have no idea what the hell we're talking about and it's all a foggy blur.
This is pretty much it, isn't it? All a foggy blur.
Yeah, I guess actually it might be a beautiful day.
Your cute cuddly catty could probably think up more than we could.
Don't talk about the cat, they can't see the cat, they'll get jealous.
We'll take a picture of the cat and show it to them, happy?
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay, what about you? Give me one of your ideas.
My ideas? Oh, let's see.
Can't think of anything.
No,
See,
Cake is a N.CAST, I don't know.
No, cake is a lie. Man, taking the cake.
Taking the cake.
That's a good name.
Really? Why do you think that's a good name? Come on.
Because think about it, it's including like everything. Your video games, the cake is a lie thing, right? Then it also somehow includes anime because there's probably anime about cake somewhere, and it also includes D&D because you can bake cakes in D&D. And I'm just talking out my ass right now.
Yes, you are.
It's fine. And Warhammer cakes.
Or you could tell it Minecraft.
Minecraft, there you go. Well, no, because that's video games, and that's covered by the whole cake is a lie thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just talking out your ass, dude.
I think over the course of this time, people will realise that I do that.
We're going to talk our asses a lot. Deal with it.
Mostly me. So anyway, another idea I had, unless you have any ideas you want to put forward.
No, go ahead. I'll probably remember some ideas along the way.
Okay, one idea that I've been thinking about quite a lot for the name of the podcast, which I really like, is N.CAST, standing for Nerdcast.
Sounds kind of boring.
It does sound kind of boring. But the idea behind it, right, is if we could, because we're lazy and we'll probably never get around to doing it, I had this really awesome idea for an animation that you could put at the start of the video based around N.CAST. You have like a big ass N shape, which is like put on screen by like a space marine like pushing it onto screen. And the space marine walks off, right? And then a dragon, Iron Man like flies across the top with a dragon close behind. Then Samus does a backflip off the dragon, lands on top of the end, like kind of seductively on top of the end. Then like the panda from FNA like runs on, and Alphonse runs after him.
Dude, what are you on about? Samus is a man. What the hell are you on about?
Get the fuck out.
It's a joke, idiots.
Okay, and for any of you who have no idea what the hell I just talked about, Space Marines are from Warhammer. Although if you're listening to this podcast,
why are you listening to this?
But so Space Marines are like one of the main races in Warhammer. What was next? Iron Man, of course, is
Films, Marvel. Everyone loves them.
Dragon, Skyrim, or Dungeons and Dragons, however you want to interpret that.
Or Minecraft, or anything.
Samus is from the It's Metroid, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on anything seductive.
Metroid
Might as well just gone
games.
Tifa from Final Fantasy, dude.
I did think Tifa at one point, but I thought Samus would be way cooler.
And only nerds would get it. I see what you're going for.
And of course, Alphonse and the Panda from Full Metal Alchemist, which is an anime.
Of course, copywriting would be an issue, but...
Well, no, because we just do like chibi versions of it that look roughly like it.
Well, there goes my idea of making the whole animation in Gmod. Gmod makes everything simpler.
You could do Gmod, but then you have the copyright issues.
What? It's free, we're not getting paid for this. It's not like we're doing any copyright.
Well, no, I was planning to actually monetize it on YouTube.
Well, now we're fucked. Well done.
Yeah.
I'm going to be giving out a lot of this swearing. There's going to be a lot of beeping in this goddamn podcast.
You know, you just have to every now and again put beep, 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 beep. By the way, we were actually saying beep. That wasn't us beeping it out.
If you couldn't tell, just say.
Okay, so any other ideas on names?
Names.
I mean, N.CAST is great, but it would involve a lot of work because it all depends on that whole animation thing.
We could take just casual references to games, Buster Cat and podcast, but that's a complete reference to Final Fantasy.
Sinistar Podcast.
I failed to get the reference.
It's a very, very old arcade game.
Oh wait, I remember now.
Sinistar.
Rainbow Podcast.
No.
I like how you use that.
Wait, where are you taking Rainbow from?
Rainbow Island.
Yeah, fuck no. For anyone who never played Rainbow Island,
Don't play it.
It was an old platform game which was bullshit hard. Basically, you jumped up, and if you took too long, water would rise. And yeah, if the water caught up with you, you would die. And the first levels weren't that bad, but they slowly got more and more ridiculous to the point. There's this great story of when my dad had the game. He chucked it in the bin, and he used to do it with games all the time. But this time, when my sister went to take the game out of the bin, my dad actually yelled at my sister for touching the game and trying to revive it from the bin.
Your dad makes a dreadful gamer. He has some serious case of rage.
Well, I mean, we do have that broken controller that he threw across the room and it practically snapped in half, so now if we ever want to throw a controller, we just take that one and throw it. Everyone should have a controller like
because
that.
I need to reference what? I don't have a space in there. The Emperor's podcast.
No.
That's because you're an orc player, deal with it, you're just miserable.
We should call it Mork and Gork.
Warcast.
Remember
that good old Games Workshop
You could be
manager?
Mork, I could be Gork.
Remember that good old Games Workshop manager who refused to believe that war was a real move?
I'm convinced that I must have done something wrong, and because I was a noob, tried using it in the first round rather than the second one. Because I honestly don't think a Games Workshop manager could be that retarded.
No, use it third move.
Was it third? Are you sure I didn't accidentally try using it first move?
No, because it's our turn first. We advanced, then you could try to avoid me shooting you. You pulled around a building for your first turn, then you tried to get your 2-wall for the second.
So he was actually being retarded. Okay, because I assumed that because how Warg works, it's an ability for orcs where they can basically rush in really fast, but you can't use it the first turn. You have to use it second or third.
Of course, if you pull this off successfully, you get an extra attack, and 4 attacks tends to destroy most people quite quickly.
Yeah.
74 attacks, Mr. Lawrence. 74 attacks.
Actually, my record is 120.
Yes,
I know. That was in a Games
You
Workshop
used it
match.
on me.
It was a Games Workshop match, and the guy running the Games Workshop just said, okay, they're white. There's no point rolling this crap out. Because there was only a unit of about 5, so...
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, it was pretty beautiful.
Was it Tau you did against, or was it...
No, it was Space.
Oh, yeah, Space. Oh, Assault Squad.
No, the only
Was it
unit...
Charles Command Squad?
There's
There's only a few to 5. It could be a Terminator Squad, Assault Squad, a Command Squad.
What's the minimum for Space Marines?
5.
Yeah, I think it was minimum Space Marine Squad.
Yeah.
Because remember, it was beginner's day, so not many people had massive armies.
You're just so jealous I would beat you in any apocalypse match we've ever done. Other than that, we used to stomp and instantly use a chain gun.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
We've got.
Okay, so moving on.
Right.
Name.
Any other names you got? Storms, or are we gonna stick one of those? Attack on Podcast.
No, not Attack on Podcast.
Oh.
The Melancholy of Susa Podcast.
That's dreadful. The melancholy of our podcast.
Wait. The SOS Podcast.
Oh dear.
I don't think we'd ever get away with
Full
that.
Metal Podcast.
Now we're just
getting stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, what about Podcast 40,000?
We'll just get sued for that. I knew we would be getting money for this.
Well, no, how will we get sued for using a number?
It's Games Workshop.
The number is copyright.
It's Games Workshop, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, the only way we can do worse is by copyrighting Disney thing. Using a Disney reference.
Oh, what? You mean like,
Pirates of the Podcast.
Pirates.
Podcast of the Caribbean.
Yeah, Podcast of the Caribbean.
We'll just get sued. We're going to get sued because it's in this video.
Nah, probably not. And stop talking about suing don't give people ideas.
Okay, I think just for sake of goodness, because we're coming up with stupid ideas that maybe will be copyrighted,
Yeah, we should
we'll just probably go N.CAST. I mean, N.CAST, we had an idea for the animation.
Yeah, but
And
it
then
does
everyone-
involve, like, serious effort.
I mean, I do a gaming course. I can make an animation when I have the time to. I mean,
Bro, I mean, it doesn't have to be out for, like, first episode.
I mean, I got a 12-week summer holiday coming up. I can make the animation during that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be out for, like, first episode.
No.
No.
But, you like an animation. It's
Okay,
just
so-
annoying about chibi. I can't draw chibi. I'm an artist, but I can't draw chibi.
Well, then you're a bad artist.
Dude, we're not told to draw chibi.
All good artists can draw chibi.
God damn it.
Even I can draw chibi.
No, you can't. You can draw stickman.
I'll demonstrate a chibi drawing.
Lastly, I'm taking a picture of his chibi drawing to show people.
It's actually basically interactive body.
That is basically interactive body.
That is
What the hell?
That's the interactive body from the game from a couple of years back.
Everyone loved interactive body. Maybe it's some school students because it's boring and everything, which wasn't bad. But
Well, actually, no. Pandemic 2 was probably the best.
that's because you wanted to show the world.
Actually, Pandemic 2, there's been an interesting game recently called Plague Inc. Which
I played that.
basically takes the idea of Pandemic 2 and turns it into like a full-fledged amazing game. I've been watching somebody play it on YouTube, and they just unlocked zombie mode.
Oh dear.
And zombie mode is amazing because it introduces like other mechanics. Like you don't just have people trying to cure the disease, but you also have anti-zombie organizations set up to destroy the zombies. It makes the game really interesting. But yeah, Pandemic 2 was the best, except Madagascar.
Oh dear.
Nobody likes Madagascar.
Basically, if anyone hasn't played that game, Madagascar is pretty much the hardest place to ever get to.
Yeah,
one
basically,
airport, one dog, and if you get the slightest hint of you having a disease, they would instantly
Yeah,
turn
basically,
closed.
the idea of the game was to build a disease and try to infect and kill everybody in the world. But for some weird reason, Madagascar only had one port, meaning, and once that port closed, it was game over. You couldn't infect Madagascar at all, which is really weird because I got so fed up with it, I actually looked up Madagascar, and they have 2 airports and about 3 docks.
Yeah, but America does not have just 2 dogs and 2 airports, does it?
True.
That game was never based on realism.
I got to the point where I got so good at that game, I could pretty much wipe out the world every time because I looked at a guide online of how to do it perfectly every time. And I used to amaze people, be like, yeah, I just took over the world. And people would be like, how the hell did you do that? It's so hard to do it. And I'd be like, oh wow, I'm just really good at this game. Okay, so we're going with N.CAST, right?
I think we'll just go with N.CAST. It makes the most sense. We can make an animation for you, cover more detail. Unless we can think of something else which could really work, I think N.CAST will work really well. I mean, hell, the N.CAST could even look like Nintendo.
No, because that would get us sued.
Yeah, fair point. That drawing of N. William is dreadful.
And it's backwards.
And it is basically the Nintendo sign.
That's what I was trying to draw, but I drew it backwards and it looked horrible.
Congrats. Well done.
Right, okay.
Moving on. Let's go over games first, shall we?
Okay.
Let's have a quick discussion of what recently has happened in the gaming industry.
Yeah, actually, normally I keep up with it, but I haven't recently. So, yeah, what's going on in gaming? I mean, I've been watching a lot of MOG recently because Xbox has it.
Has MOG done anything interesting?
Nah, I've mostly been watching the StarCraft.
Any competition?
Oh, I did watch Smash Bros. Melee tournament. That was hilarious.
Dude, we kicked ass at Smash Bros. Brawl and you know it.
No, we suck at Smash Bros.
Shh, they don't need to know that.
Compared to like what these people were doing.
They don't
suck.
need to know that.
I mean, the best Smash Bros. Thing we did was probably the 90-minute match between me as Fox. What did you play?
I played Link.
Oh yeah,
It
it
was
was
always
me
Link.
It was me as Fox, James as Link, versus Pikachu and Jigglypuff, and we just had like only Pokeballs for 90 minutes.
There was also a time when played the same characters against Bowser and Donkey Kong in a 100 live deathmatch.
I think we won.
We won.
Only just.
Well, no, I had 40 lives left.
Did we lose to Pikachu?
You lost to Pikachu several times, but we both survived at the end. We both won it.
Okay. About to say, I knew that we got our ass kicked by Pikachu quite regularly. I don't think Jigglypuff ever caused us any problems, but that damn Pikachu, man. Okay, so yeah, MLG is on. I think it's still on at the minute, and you know that's always fun watching if you're into games because it's professional gamers playing, and you get some really interesting matches. As I said, I was watching quite a bit of the Clan Wars, which is StarCraft, and I actually ended up buying StarCraft because of it, but I'll go into that a bit more later.
Yeah.
So, anything else you know about the gaming world?
Right, here's something which people have been looking quite forward to recently, I believe. Aliens Isolation. Still in the beta phase, but a recent convention has allowed people to play it, mainly gaming students.
Wait. Question about Aliens Isolation, right? Is it based on the old Aliens film?
Yes. It is
Okay,
actually
so-
based on the old Aliens with the exact same gadgets.
So, here's my second question.
Yes.
Why are people looking forward to this film when we look at the last Aliens game that came out? It was one of the worst games of the.
Because unlike
Ever.
most companies which make a bad game and think, hey, let's make one worse to make them better, Final Fantasy.
Whoa! Are you trying to imply that the recent Final Fantasy games have been nothing?
Final Fantasy 13.
Brilliant?
13 Part 2. 13 Part 3.
Well, actually,
What
it's not,
if
cool. It's not called.
Oh no, it's
13
Lightning
Part 3. It's
Returns.
called Lightning
Why is
Returns.
it good? Because you get to choose costumes where it makes lightning nearly naked and stuff.
So it basically turns it into like a modern Tomb Raider game.
Basically.
Yeah.
By the way, Isolation is actually, they've realised that the last game was crap.
Okay.
So it was
Wow, that's a big jump for a video game company to actually
actually admit
realise.
they're crap.
Yeah. Wow.
But they tried to take it, hey, this is meant to be a horror game, let's actually do this. So
Alright.
they've taken a page from Outlast.
All right.
You're on a ship on your own. You're playing as Ridley's daughter, and there's only one alien. You have no weapons, no way to kill it.
Wait. Ridley.
Ridley's daughter.
Wait, so you
This
play
is during
as...
the time when Ridley is in cryostasis.
Okay, I haven't watched much of the original Aliens, so when you say Ridley, all I can think is a giant flying dragon type thing from Metroid.
You can find me that one later. I don't know that one. I don't
Wait,
think
you
it's
don't?
Metroid.
No,
I'm
it's
playing
in
Metroid.
Brawl.
Oh,
The giant dragon.
yeah.
Ridley's
Right.
in Brawl.
Anyway,
Yeah, I
There's
haven't
no
watched
way to-
any of the original... I've watched the original Predators, but never the original Aliens.
there's no way to kill this alien. The whole point is to hide and survive while it looks around for you. There are other people on the ship, but they're pretty much useless as you are.
Oh, okay.
And the whole point is to get through to it and survive and probably eventually kill it. It's only in the beta phase, so the ending hasn't done yet.
Awesome. So,
But it is looking pretty promising. And best of all, no shitty AI where they block the door.
I mean, the real question is it as good as... Did you ever play the game Area 51?
I think we all know it's not as good as that.
Probably one of my favourite games that had aliens in it. Not, like just generic aliens, but that game was crazy good. I mean, I ended up selling it once I completed it because it infuriated me so much I couldn't touch the game after I beat it. Did you ever get to the end of that game though? The final boss is hilarious.
There was an end to that game?
Yeah, the final boss, like you go into it's a really old game, so you don't really have to worry about spoilers. But
Nah.
you go into like this massive spaceship that's in like the underground bunker, and the final boss is the core of the spaceship. James?
Yeah.
Final boss is the core of the spaceship, and it like turns around and shoots up massive fire beams at you, which just instantly kill you. It's ridiculous, but it's so worth beating.
I don't like the sound of that.
If you played it, you
Almost sounds like
probably
Final
would.
Boss to FF9, where suddenly they kill Kuja. Oh look, who the hell is this?
No, it makes sense for that, but the boss makes perfect sense when you play the full game, but it's just ridiculously hard.
Yeah. Just for the record, we both like Final Fantasies here, but we both feel they've gotten worse. So we're going to make constant comments towards them, either they're good
Well,
or
you
games
probably
or they're
will.
bad
I'll
ones.
try to ignore it because anything past 10 I don't consider Final Fantasy because
It wasn't, it was
not.
rubbish. We made good comments about the good ones and bad
Actually,
ones about the bad
thinking
ones.
about Final Fantasy and the stuff that comes off of it, I don't. My most anticipated game of this year, if it comes out this year, which it should do, is Kingdom Hearts 3 at the end of this year.
Yes, I am somewhat looking forward to that. Unfortunately, it's going to be on a PS4, isn't
Which
it?
I have. I mean, yeah, it's good. It looks pretty good. Although,
Fuck you.
I was looking at some, like, there were some rumors going around what was actually going to be in this game. Some crazy thing where you fight a boss while riding a roller coaster.
I think this can be considered spoilers, but
Well, no, because the game's not out, so that might not even happen yet. It's just some random rumor that was going. But that would be crazy.
I want to play this game. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, what's your game? What game you really looking forward to this year?
Well, other than the hopeful Final Fantasy VII remake, they said they'll make it if the game comes out, which is better than its remake. Hopefully, Kingdom Hearts 3 will do that.
I don't think that will count though. I think it only counts if it's a Final Fantasy game.
Oh, but that's
They're
not
gonna,
gonna happen.
you know, they're gonna come up with some reason to pull out of making the 7 remake.
Oh yeah, but they made a Final Fantasy X remake in 10 Part 2. No one wanted that one.
No, that's because especially people in America. Oh, by the way, we're English. I know. We're tea drinking weirdos. But
Tea drinking weirdos. I think you mean with the
I think
humans
one of the
around.
main reasons they remade it is because America have been complaining for ages because you know in 10 where you get that a normal mode and hard mode.
Yeah.
And the hard mode has a completely different sphere grid.
Yeah, that's very good.
Well, we got like the HD version of that like ages ago because that sphere grid was part of the international version, which America never got, and the international version adds that sphere grid and a load of extra bosses, which, you know, me and you probably never got to because they're secret. You have to find them. But the Americans didn't have that for ages, and the HD remake is going to introduce that across the world.
Ah, right. So it's just because the Americans are complaining again.
No, I think like they got the international. Like I have to check my dates, but I think they got international age like a while back, like quite a few years now. But I think the HD thing for international is something that they didn't really get.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Just for the record, I don't hate Americans, but I find their fans tend to make more arguments of things than most other people do.
well, no, that's not true. To be fair,
Mass Effect
we
fans.
are British. We are known for arguing and being a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, but the
Well, no,
Americans do a
actually,
pretty good job
I
of
did hear
keeping
this
up with us.
really funny story a while back, where when the new Pokemon games were announced, when the new, I think it was Pokemon Black, it was announced that they were Black and White. It was announced they were coming to England first, and there was this really funny comment online where a couple of people in America were like, "Oh, why aren't we getting Pokemon Black and White first?" And someone turned around and said, "Wait, you realize you get all of the Pokemon games before us. This is the first one we get before you." And they were like, "Oh," and just shut up and left it alone. Like, I mean, let's be fair.
There are many ways to stop online arguments. I believe, wasn't your favourite quote, "Isn't that what Hitler said?"
Yeah,
stop
apparently that
online
would just
arguments.
end like any online argument. It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, I have used that several times. It does work wonders.
It does. It will stop an entire thread. I mean, yeah, we can't go on too much about like different countries and their opinions because let's face it, we're British.
Everyone's got their opinions.
We have some of the most ridiculously upper class opinions in the world.
Shut up and give me a tea, damn it!
Precisely. Okay, so
2 sugars.
I mean, what games
And
have you been
plenty.
playing? Okay, so back to gaming before
These
we
I've been
too
playing.
far off. What you've been playing?
Recently, I've been getting back into the good old game Tropico 4.
All right. I think I have Tropico 3, not 4.
I thought you had 4.
I thought it
I
was...
started playing the campaign, and of course I got stuck on the third mission where instead of mining industry, and now I got stuck on tourism industry. Of course, the tourism's been like that game's following cliches like fat monkey people, probably from Britain and America. That's a game that's cliche breaking. Nothing seems to work.
No. If they were from England, there'd just be a load of underage pregnancy.
And a cup of tea in all their hands, of course.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, not all British people are like that anymore, are they?
No, we just get pregnant very young, apparently.
Well, we don't because we're blokes. I'm sorry to say. If that's the case, I'm sorry. You're not going
Well,
to
that's something I haven't told you. That's a joke. But yeah, apparently England
I
has
will
the
never talk
highest
again.
underage pregnancy in Europe. I think the only reason America beats us is
Because of
they're
Amsterdam.
because they're a larger country. That's the only reason we have a higher, lower underage pregnancy rate than them.
Great Britannia.
Okay, so sorry, back to Tropico 4. I didn't mean to sidetrack that badly.
Anyway, yeah. Stuck on creating tourism industry because volcanoes, big eruptions, earthquakes. The game does not like me.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I think I can't remember who.
And I love the advisor you get, Penultimo.
Oh
He
yeah,
can't.
he's been in all of them, I think.
Yes. You gotta love Penultimo.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure I played 3, not 4. But I remember what I used to do is I would, whenever I played sandbox mode, I'd devote an entire beach line to just tourism.
That's what I do.
Then have like industry by another part of the state.
Unfortunately, this campaign level does not allow you to make much of an industry beforehand to keep a tourism industry going.
I mean, if you want to think about
because the British have taken over the island and 20% of exports.
Oh, that must be. Yeah, I must have played 3 then before.
That is us, definitely.
I remember one thing in Tropico that in sandbox mode I played, where it got to literally, it was in the elections, and like about 2 minutes before the elections happened, a tidal wave hit the island, and my popularity plummeted so low, it was ridiculous. Like, how the hell was I meant to stop a freaking tidal wave?
Weather station.
No, it didn't have that before.
Oh, Tropico 3 didn't have those.
I don't think it did, unless I
Tropico 4 does, and it allows you to predict any disasters. You can warn people, and then they love you for it.
Oh, so annoying. But oh yeah, and the other really bullshit.
Although it doesn't warn you about volcanoes. That's stupid. I don't see why it doesn't do that.
The other really bullshit thing it did is I set up like quite a huge military population on one game just for fun, and I ended up with about 10 military, and there was a rebel uprising. And I think it was 4 rebels versus my 10 military. It got down to 5 military versus 1 rebel. Rebel took out all 5 of my military.
What did you do? Did you activate conscription or something?
I don't
to
know.
make go.
I mean, the rebels
because I don't trust my military, I've set all of their bases to Spec Ops training to make sure that never happens. The generals hit me for it, but it works.
But it was so ridiculous. It was like 1 rebel versus 5 military, and he just wiped them.
My cover strategy in Tropico is build up a good enough export system. I get like 64,000 every 3 months. Then spend all that getting my other industries up to working order.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, this tourism now you can't do it because British take 20% of your exports. So there you watch another thing, and it's like you've lost 20% export, so you get 300 instead of 3,000. That makes no sense.
That does sound pretty beautiful, to be honest.
But it's so realistic. British, we're taking your exports because independence is a bitch.
Well, no, I don't think Tropico is set in India, though, is it?
Unfortunately, but it's a Tropico, so it's makes no sense really.
See, it's fun. It's fun taking the mick out of other countries as long as we remember to take this out of Britain more.
Cup of tea. Anyway, what games have you been playing?
Okay, so recently, last Friday, after watching loads of MLG and StarCraft, I basically went on Amazon and was like, okay, I am buying StarCraft because I just got paid.
Oh dear, you're thinking of PC Master Race, don't you now?
Well, no, it's mostly because I was like, you know what? Wait, I want StarCraft.
How does your PC run this?
Okay.
Your PC's a piece of crap.
Actually, funnily enough, my PC wouldn't run it for one reason and only one reason. The graphics card wasn't quite. It was like about a month out of date for the game, and it would run it, but every now and again it would stick, and it got like I could play it for about half an hour before it annoyed me because it would be like go to the objective, and it just annoyed the hell out of me. So I kindly asked my sister whether I could download StarCraft 2 on her computer, and I've been playing it on that ever since.
Right, that explains it.
But no, the really weird thing was that even though my computer is about 11 years old, it played StarCraft 2 fine, except it kept sticking.
So here's a question. Having fun with the Zerg?
Okay, yeah. Zerg have been really annoying me. Like, the main campaign, because I haven't got the Heart of the Swarm expansion, is you play as Terran, which are kind of the human space marine looking things. But,
Copyright sign here.
but when I played, there was this one mission I was doing. I think it was like second or third mission in, and it was an escort mission.
I like where this is going already.
And you had to escort these trucks of people like up to this base from this one area, but you were against Zerg, and yeah. But in Zerg, if you haven't played the game, are generally well known for their rush tactics because they get creatures. You get like speed bonuses you can add to Zerg, which make them really fast, and you also get like this one type of Zerg which explodes, and you run that into like where your mineral line, which is where you get all the minerals or material you need to build.
I take it they're quick to build forces up as well.
Yeah, and like they get this exploding unit. You run it into the mineral, like explodes, pretty much game over. So they're really well known for their rush tactics. Anyway, so this escort mission, escorting this vehicle up, suddenly like loads of Zergs swarm across the street, take out the car, and I'm like, well, crap. Well, it turns out the way to beat it is to set up like bunkers along the road with turrets, and as the Zerg come in, they just get annihilated before they even get to the road. It took me about half an hour. Like, the objective was to successfully transport 50 people, a minimum of 50 people. It took me about half an hour because it took me ages to set up the roadblocks without the Zerg wiping them.
Oh, God.
And like another mission, the one I'm stuck on at the minute, I was doing. It's basically you have a load of infected buildings, and you have to wipe out all of the Zerg infected buildings. And then but it has a day and night cycle. In the day you take out the buildings. In the night you get swarmed by a load of infected Zerg people. And I was doing really well. Got down to about 20 buildings. There were only like 20 left. Got to the night stage, and suddenly about 1,000 Zerg swarmed in and overran my base. Even though I had like really good defenses, had about 30 units in there which all had fire, which are really good against Zerg. And they just, about 1,000 Zerg units just swarmed in and took out the base. I managed to last till the day came up, but by that point I was like, there is no way I can rebuild for the next night.
Oh dear. Now you see, I'm good at rush tactics, but I don't think 1,000 troops against, 30 or so was gonna quite be fair.
Well, yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been playing a lot of StarCraft recently. That's mostly what I've been
Well, since I've been trying to beat proper kill, I've kind of stopped playing anything. The other game I played is Binary Domain, which is a Sega game. Sega have recently been sending out so many games I don't know. It's ridiculous. They're building a Secret Empire, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, Sega are building a Secret Empire. They have, like, there's so many games that are Sega that you don't necessarily realize are Sega unless you do some digging. It's pretty funny when you find out. But, yeah, anyway, what's Binary Domain about?
Basically, humanity's been somewhat decimated by global warming.
Of course.
Increased. Sega like taking the mickey out of that, making trying to make people realise that global warming is going to kill us.
Well, no, global warming isn't killing us. Sega is killing us.
In order to rebuild, humanity remained as a humanity anyway, created robots. As this got more and more advanced, America and Japan started becoming quite competitive.
Skynet.
Now Skynet's gone away. America, oddly enough, remained true and started to create an invention where you could not make robots just look human and make true AI. Funny. Japan, of course, started to refuse this and close off their borders and became an isolated region.
Okay. Well, I mean, of course, the Japanese robots were way better and could transform into cars and shit, right?
I'm afraid not. There's no Transformers. Actually, sorry, Beta Demo, there is Transformers, but after 10 years of Japan going isolated themselves, a robot which looked pretty much like a human invades America and tries to take out the leader of their biggest robots company, Bergen.
Alright.
Of course, America tried to stop this and send in their special force troops, otherwise known as Rush Crews in this.
Okay.
And they got going and defeat the lead and the guy who's creating these robots, Armada, who turns out in a plot was to be a robot himself.
Interesting. How old is this game out of interest? Because I've trained that Binary Domain like it's quite old now. Right?
It's about a year old, but it's still relatively popular.
I thought it was quite.
About a year or two old,
I
but
thought
it's still relatively popular.
Okay. Yeah.
The graphics is quite advanced, and the graphics doesn't make a game. The plot is decent, And while it has some,
it definitely doesn't have the same amazing graphics that Minecraft does.
Oh no, Minecraft graphics is wow.
Yeah, I mean,
it has a trust system,
those
which while I
pictures.
would cringe at that, it doesn't have the great compensation system that Mass Effect does. It's simply press A or B to say a good thing or a bad thing.
Hey, at least it doesn't have a smear grid.
What about smear grids are great, depending which version you have. But either way, the only way to completely win this game with a good ending is by getting everyone's trust.
Okay. That's an interesting idea. That reminds me of one of the things you can do. There's this a certain virus you get in Plague Inc. Because it doesn't like in the original Pandemic you only had the 3 base plagues, right? It was bacterial, virus, or
Parasite.
But you get loads more, and there's this one in Plague Inc. where it's like a neurovirus, like a neural worm thing. And you can win the game via 2 ways. You can either get the worm to kill people, or you can. There's an upgrade you get for the worm after a while, which is the worm convinces people that the worm is God and everyone should worship the worm.
I want to play that.
Yeah, that's how. It's pretty beautiful.
No, but back to the Biodomain. My favourite character in this game is the French robot, which is on your side.
Alright.
Yeah, it's brilliant. He's the most badass motherfucking thing I've ever seen. That's going to be beeped out, by the way.
I don't know if we even need to beep it out. We'll just
his French accent is, of course, as deep French as you can get.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure whenever a romantic scene comes in that thing, which only happens once in it, he becomes the most comedic character in it, proceeding to drag away anyone that comes close.
Okay, so he's basically the cock block.
No, he's basically the all for it bloke.
Oh, okay, so the opposite of the cock block. Okay.
Yeah. But, of course, bad things happen. If you're not careful, you can get taken control by the leader of the Japanese corporation.
Okay.
But, of course, trust ratings somehow make it as like he can fight back, which is I call ridiculous. If he's a robot, he's not going to fight back.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a very good game. Multiplayer, I'm not sure it has multiplayer. I haven't tried it. Oh wait, yes it does, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I generally ignore multiplayer in games, but that's just my preference. Anything else you've been playing?
No, that's about it recently.
Okay, well...
Right, move on to anime.
Well, I was going to say, like, the only other things that I've been playing is because I have a PlayStation 4, you get a lot of free stuff for PlayStation on the PlayStation Network. Like there's a couple, mostly indie games like Don't Starve, which was quite a popular survival-based game. Which actually there's been a recent expansion for the PC version, which I haven't really looked at yet, but it sounds interesting. Like it introduces giants into the game for some weird reason. And the most recent one I got is called it's Mercenary something, and it's pretty funny. It's basically like classic pixel-based 2D platformer, where you get like all kinds of weird upgrades, and it looks pretty fun. I haven't really got into it yet, but yeah, that's the beauty of PlayStation Network. You get quite a few free indie games.
You're just showing off now, aren't you?
Well,
yes, you are. Stop trying to.
You just get some interesting stuff on it. Like the interesting thing is you get you generally only get indie games, which is really good because indie games don't really get that much recognition between consoles. Because, I mean...
Yeah, that's another thing, because indie games are pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, like, Xbox has indie games on it, but, they don't really publicize them as much as Sony are willing to do. So it's really interesting to see Sony give out indie games for free for a period of time to people who are on their network, because it introduces indie games to people who might not necessarily play them.
Yeah. I do find that annoying because indie games I find have been some of the best games made recently.
Yeah.
I mean, most games nowadays it has to be a shooter for it to be good, which I call rubbish, and the all too famous graphics makes the game.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII was a great game. I didn't see on there Lego Blocks graphics getting commended.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to the next section. Anime.
Right.
I have to admit, I haven't been watching much anime.
You disgust me, boy.
Other than I rewatched Fullmetal Alchemist recently. Because that is the best anime.
For anyone who hasn't watched Fullmetal Alchemist, I won't give too many spoilers, but basically, the whole point of it is alchemy is a major force in the world, and the main story is focused on two brothers, Edward and Alphonse Elric.
Basically, alchemy in this world is kind of, it's not a traditional alchemy like in something like Elder Scrolls, which is potions. It's you can change, and it's kind of like the gold. It's kind of like the copper to gold.
You can transmute something of equal value, you can transmute something into something else of equal value, like metal into a spear.
Yeah.
Something like that. Of course, that's only a side part of the story. The main part of the story is Edward and Alphonse Elric. Their whole point is they've lost their bodies and attempt to bring one of their family members back to life. But of course, it goes terribly wrong because equal value and all that. And the main plot story, I'm pretty sure, is God is a douche. It's a plot story, God's a douche.
I mean, Fullmetal Alchemist is actually based on an anime. Sorry, my TV turned on. It's based on a manga originally. Which the interesting story about Fullmetal Alchemist is the original TV show, because we're on about Brotherhood, but the original anime,
the original one,
was they actually started creating the anime
and did it overtake the manga?
Before the manga finished, and it overtook the manga, and the ending for the original anime was so crazy and absolutely nothing like the manga because they were so far ahead of it. But Brotherhood is done a couple of years after the manga finished,
and is a hell of a lot better.
Well, no, Brotherhood.
No, the original was good,
but
really Brotherhood made more sense, and it worked.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the spoilers. You try to find the demon bodies, and things start to get out of control, and they discover a conspiracy going on.
Yeah, I mean, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is probably my favorite anime. I mean, I haven't watched hundreds, but it's probably my favorite. I mean, that up there with the melancholy of Haruo Suzumiya, but most people will hate me for saying that. But
the original series is great. The second series, like, what was it? 10 days of summer, something like that?
Yeah,
the 11th days of summer, which was repeated over and over again. In the manga, it worked. In the anime, you do not want 10 episodes of the same damn thing.
Yeah. But let's talk about that one the better, because a lot of people don't like the anime. I've been trying to get a hold of the manga for that, but I can't find the original episodes, which really annoys me.
No. Animes I've been watching recently: Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate.
I haven't watched original Hellsing. I've seen it quite a bit.
Original Hellsing wasn't, well, it was good, but it was definitely beaten by its successor, Ultimate. The plot was completely different for it, but some of the new
so there's no Nazis eating babies in
There's no Nazis eating babies. Or London burning.
Oh, okay. That's boring.
Then again, they tried to kill the Queen in the original. Vampires tried to kill the Queen. Well, I'm pretty sure the main bad guy does not look like a vampire. He looks more like some kind of weird Greek mythological creature.
Nice.
On legs. But, you know.
Nice.
Third eye and all that.
Sounds great.
But
yeah,
other animes I've been watching, Melancholy. Hate me for it if you want to.
Wait, when have you been watching that?
Watched it a few days ago. I have both discs.
Oh right, yeah, you have it on disc.
I haven't watched season 2 at all.
I have to.
Everything I'm trying to be catching up on. And one which has become recently popular is Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that.
I've been forced to watch it. I've been forced to watch it by my 15-year-old friend of mine, who obsessively said, I have to watch it, otherwise I'm not going to live, which I find a little silly. I watched it anyway to indulge him, and I found it as pretty damn good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Attack on Titan, but I haven't been able to watch it myself.
Right, basic plot of it, the main character, Eren Yeager, and his best friend, who is basically like a sister to him, is Mikasa. I can't remember her last name.
Mikasa?
But she's the last of the Asians, because everyone else has died.
Wow.
I know racism at its finest.
That's a little weird.
Yeah. Childhood plotline comes into it in other places, but otherwise, humanity being basically wiped down to one remaining city, which is a large, very big city, by giants, otherwise known as Titans. No one knows where it started, no one knows where they're killing them.
Wait, I thought the planet was called Titan.
No.
Okay, so why is it called Attack on Titan?
Because it's basically the whole planet on the counterattack on them.
I thought there was a planet called Titan something, but never mind.
No.
I completely
But after
misinterpreted it.
his mother dies, years of training comes when he joins the military with his friend, makes a few new friends, and when they're finally ready to go to fight the Titans after they broke through two of their major three walls of their city and nearly wiped out humanity.
I mean, that happens quite a lot.
Yeah, of course, leaving only one more left.
I mean, the only anime that was successfully wiped out anime was probably the Angels from Evangelion.
Humanity, yeah.
They do it really well.
Yeah,
I mean,
but we're not
honestly.
going to talk about that, are we now? If you want to talk about that, talk about it in your own time because I will blank you out.
The Neon Genesis is great.
Be quiet. Hush your mouth. We're talking about Attack on Titan here. Decent anime.
Whoa.
It's depressing.
I don't think anyone will agree with you that Evangelion wasn't a good anime.
If you're like being depressed, of course. I mean, Attack on Titan gives depression because loads of people bloody die. In gruesome ways like that. I mean, the main character's mother gets her back snapped, but then suddenly they treat a palace before eating her.
I think you'll get hate mail for saying that Evangelion was a bad anime.
Oh, the hate mail. Anyway, years of training, they go to fight a Titan and break through the second war, and everything goes wrong, of course. During this time, the main character Eren gets eaten by a Titan and turns into a Titan himself. Realize he can turn into one at will.
I mean, yeah, of course.
That makes perfect sense. But the
perfect
change realizes that when his father, they find out his father caused it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's
fathers are always bad. I mean, look at FMA. Fathers are bad.
That makes far more sense than
because experimentation deal with it.
Yeah, experimentation. You know, like the plot that makes perfect sense in Star Ocean.
Look, if you can't figure out a decent plot to something, aside from experimentation works. If that fails, God, religion, blame it on that. But yeah, of course, this becomes seen as both a threat and a weapon by the military, and they start using it against the Titans, and of course they try and retake their world, and he wants revenge on the Titans for killing his mother, which I find silly because they're mindless creatures.
Why is it always the mother in these animes?
FMA mother, Evangelion mother, Attack on Titan mother. How is it here? No mother lives that one, I believe.
No, but even in Cardcaptor Sakura, it was the mother who was dead.
I haven't watched enough of that, so I don't know.
If you ever want to watch Cardcaptor Sakura, only watch the original Japanese and watch it in sub, because the dub Cardcaptors was so bad, because there was a lot of, you know, homosexual relationships in the original, and it was back in the day where it was a little bit iffy to put that on like English and American TV, so the dub version cut loads of it out, and the plot just made no sense because of it.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna watch Cardcaptor Sakura, make sure you watch the dubbed version because that is actually really good.
Yeah. I won't tell you too much about Attack on Titan if you haven't watched it because spoilers. I don't want to receive too much hate now for both hating Evangelion and spoiling Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it at that.
I mean, other animes I've rewatched recently, although a lot of people argue it's not an anime. I count it as an anime, is Avatar Last Airbender.
I don't really, not a fan of that.
Have you actually watched that?
I've seen some of it. I've seen the movie and the anime.
Don't watch
the movie. Was dreadful.
Don't watch the live action. You can't count the live action movie. It's dreadful.
I've watched the live action movie, which is a mistake on my part. I've watched the anime and it didn't roll on me.
I mean, there's a lot of arguments whether it even counts as an anime because it's made by Americans, not the Japanese. But I think it has, it's enough like an anime that I'd happily count it as well.
Yeah.
But, what else have I been rewatching recently? Oh, Netflix had original series Pokemon. I was really happy about that. I know you hate Pokemon.
But people who could become fans.
Pokemon.
Here's a story which I'm going to love in future videos. William Love likes Pokemon. I do not. This will become a future argument that everyone's going to love and hate. Pokemon is shit, other than Pikachu. Pikachu is good, I don't like anyone else.
Actually, Ash's Pikachu, best Pikachu.
Of course it is!
Yeah,
he's cute,
actually, interesting story, actually, about Pikachu. Recently, in Japan, they created a Pikachu in-game, which was officially dubbed Ash's Pikachu, and they gave it, because you know all the natures and crap with, like, the new Pokemon.
No.
Well,
really.
you have, like, different Pokemon will have different natures, which affects how you train them, if you do it, like, the professional EV training method.
Oh, right.
And, like, they gave it, mischievous nature, And it was just really funny, the stuff they gave it. I think you can look it up online if you're interested. But they made like an official Ashes Pikachu with like mischievous nature and crap like that. It was really funny.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
Next subject, movies.
Okay, well,
I've heard you've watched a movie which has been on everyone's tongues recently.
yeah.
Go on, tell me. I haven't watched it, and people are gonna hate me because I haven't.
I have on Monday, because Frozen came out and my sister bought it and I watched it. Wait, was it Monday or last Monday? It was last Monday, not this Monday. And yeah, I recently rewatched Frozen. I watched Frozen because I couldn't see it in cinema. I wanted to, but I couldn't. And Frozen is amazing. It's definitely one of the best Disney princess films they've ever released.
Alright, give me the basic plot without spoiling anything for them.
Okay, well, what I can really say without any spoilers is, do you know the old legend, like Ice Queen legends?
A bit of it.
Okay, so Frozen is very loosely based on that concept, but it takes it in a different direction. Rather than having the Ice Queen be evil, she's just a scared girl who has to deal with the fact she has this power. But Frozen takes the whole Ice Queen legend in a really interesting direction, and it's really well done. And the music numbers in it, because in America,
I've heard they are very famous.
yeah,
right now.
in America, especially, the soundtrack for Frozen is one of the most popular albums in America at the minute, and the soundtrack is so great. Interestingly, with Frozen, one of the main songs, "Let It Go," there's two versions. One sung by the actual voice actor for the character, and the other sung by a professional singer. And it was the one sung by the voice actor that made it onto radio, not the one by the professional voice actor.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, Frozen is really well done and it's a pretty interesting movie.
Yeah. Movies I've watched recently been random, not so hyped up ones Frozen, but I went to watch it because my girlfriend forced me to. Captain America 2. Very hyped
I haven't
up.
seen it yet.
That movie is so damn good.
Have you seen Dark World yet?
Dark World, 4-2 Dark World?
Yeah.
No. Oh, yes, I have.
Okay, because I have it on PlayStation 4 if you want to watch it.
Don't worry about that for now. Captain America 2, no spoilers, of course, but good old Captain America, trying to relax from his recent goings on, and then trying to catch up with the world after being fall down his little bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, trying to catch up. Shield gets compromised when they're trying to make a whole new kind of defense system which kills threats before it starts.
Oh, so Skynet?
No. Well, it really becomes that, if I'm honest.
Okay. Without spoilers, Skynet.
Basically, all I can really give out spoilers: Nazis, Skynet. Basically,
Well, yeah, it's always Nazis.
they
with
create a
Captain
giant
America.
defense system of helicarriers, which will be suborbital.
Okay, well, let's not go too much into that because
No,
I
no,
still
no.
haven't watched them.
No.
But actually,
Of
thinking
course,
about...
Nazis interfere and Captain America saves them off.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Well, no, actually, Captain America dies. But
No, he doesn't. Shut up.
as I said, I haven't seen this, so I have no idea. But interesting thing about that, the Avengers series is the second Avengers film is due out at the end of this year, which has the working title of Avengers 2 Rise of Ultron. And that's caused a lot of controversy in the comic book world because Ultron is a bad guy, very famous in the comic books. As
Was he the guy who appeared at the end of Avengers number 1?
No.
Who was that?
This is the weird thing about it. It's meant to be called the Rise of Ultron, and Ultron in the comic books is like basically the Avengers' main enemy. And there was a comic book they released a while back, which was meant to be the last last thing for Avengers, and Ultron basically wiped the Avengers.
Oh dear.
It was like, because Ultron has like different versions, and it was meant to be like Ultron version 70 something, and it wiped the Avengers. But there's been a lot of controversy about it because Ultron in the comics exists from the. Do you know the character Ant-Man?
No,
Okay,
no,
Ant-Man's,
it sounds dreadful.
Ant-Man is a character in the Avengers who didn't make it into the films, but he has the ability to grow and shrink, and he's one of the main Avengers. And Ultron can't exist without Ant-Man, so there's been a lot of controversy of how do you get Ultron into a movie with no Ant-Man.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask why he can't exist without Ant-Man.
There's a lot of backstory to it.
Yeah, but other movies I've been to watch recently, Lego Movie. I found that as a disappointment. But
Yeah,
people
I've heard
disagree.
a lot about a lot of negative about it.
It was more of a personal taste thing. Some people absolutely adored it. Some people did because it was too awkward, and there's a bit of bloody musical in some cases. I think
the problem with what I understand is the problem with the Lego Movie is a lot of people. If you've watched any of the stuff like the Lego Star Wars movies or the Lego Avengers movies, those are really creatively done, like taking play on the fact it's Lego.
I know this was really creative on the fact it's Lego, but it was too awkward for some people.
Was it but was it as self-aware as the other ones are?
Yes, but I found that it seemed like the humor in it was too forced. It really wasn't funny. Like in the Lego Avengers and shit like that, their humor was easygoing. It was lax and amusing.
Yeah.
This felt like it's forced.
Like, I think a lot of people expected it to be more like the recent Lego Star Wars or Lego Avengers movies.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't.
It didn't pull it off, no.
Yeah.
I thought it could have done a lot better with it. I mean, the animation in the Lego in it was brilliant, but...
Yeah.
And it has... Oh, God, what is his name? William Ferrell. Ferrell in it. Will Ferrell.
You mean Will Ferrell?
Ferrell. I can't pronounce his name, shut up.
Okay.
Either way,
To be fair, though...
his acting was awkward, but...
To be fair, though, as much as generally I don't like that actor very much at all, I have to admit, Megamind is one of my favourite
He
movies.
played that well.
And he played that really well. So I'm surprised that in Lego, because of course we're not actually seeing the real actor, I'm surprised he couldn't pull it off as well as he did in Megamind. Do you think there's any reason why he didn't do it as well as he did in Megamind? Because it was just voice acting like in Megamind.
No, because he actually appeared in the Lego Movie as well at the end. Because it was just a kid playing with Lego blocks, and it was all coming up in his imagination. But, and of course, Will Ferrell was a bad guy. Proper bad guy, but good conquered and shit like that. But I think in Megamind he had a lot more to work with, because Megamind had a sad backstory, which he worked with and actually overcame by being bad and having fun with it.
Yeah.
But, of course, he discovers he's not. Megamind gave him a lot more to work with, and I felt it suited his personality more.
Yeah.
This guy's more like just I want to be a miserable, evil guy with a world of order and glue. Because anyone who watched a Lego movie would understand that reference.
I mean, everyone wants to rule. Like, if I ever took over the world, I would definitely do it with glue, and I don't get that reference, but glue's very important for taking over the world.
Please shut up. I found it really disappointing. What I've watched are the less basic, less hyped ones. Liam Neeson's Non-Stop. Good movie, basic. The common American terrorist take over a plane, he stops something. The common movies he's in. And I think that's it for movies I've watched recently with my girlfriend or been dragged out with friends to watch.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting selection. I mean, I've only recently watched Frozen, which is a new movie-wise.
I've been recently just rewatching Hellboy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean...
Because everyone loves Hellboy.
I recently finally got around to watching Dark Road, which was really interesting.
Yeah, I love that movie. That was pretty good.
Like,
I found the plot confused me a little bit, but I understood it eventually.
Like, the problem I find with a lot of the Avengers movies is... Because, by the way, when I say Avengers movies, I'm including, like, all of the Iron Man and stuff like that, because it all ties in.
Yeah.
Like, they've tried to make it so people who aren't into the comics or aren't aware of the whole the general plots for it, so they can understand it, but it's still quite difficult, so occasionally they'll introduce characters which people who are aware of the comics books will be like, oh, I know that character, I'm so glad they added them, but a lot of other people will be like, who's this? And they'll be slightly confused by it.
Yeah, that's been a common referencing on the internet as well. Like, one recent comic I read, well, meme comic, where it basically fans and non-fans will understand this. Whereas there's basically a picture of a fan who's read the comics and is absolutely screaming in cheer over this, or the other guy who hasn't ever read the comics is like, wait, what's going on here? What?
Yeah.
Who is this? What's that?
Yeah.
Why is that Tin Man flying across the sky punching a giant alien?
But I guess that can also be translated into the other thing I've been watching recently, which isn't a movie, but it ties into the Avengers series, which is Marvel's Agents of Shield.
I haven't watched that.
That is
I
really
heard
good.
that's good. But
It's based around Coulson.
I thought he was dead.
Well,
Or is it based before him?
no, it's based after him. There's a whole story to how Coulson's back. But without spoilers,
I call cloning.
it explains how Coulson comes back. But, because there was such an uproar from the fact they killed Coulson in the movie, they were like, okay, we have to make a series just for Coulson. But in the most recent episode, they introduced a character, and I was watching it with my dad, and my dad was really, really fucking confused to who this character was. But me and my sister, who are into the comics, knew who it was. Because they have that same problem, like, there's been a lot of times in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where they've introduced a character or introduced a concept which I'll understand, but my family, who, although they like the movies and like the series, don't necessarily get.
Yeah, I find it. But even if you haven't read the comics or are not a true fan of it, it still is they're really good.
Yeah,
things
it's
to watch.
done really well. So even if you're
even if you don't know
fan,
about the action,
Yes.
funny, comedic.
Yeah.
There's loads of banter going between
yeah,
the
it's
guys.
done well enough that if you're not into it, like watching it, you'll
It's still
understand.
funny.
You'll understand
what's
it, and
going
it
on.
will still be funny, and you'll know what's going on because it's deliberately done in that way.
And it works really well. I like it.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, if you are into the comics, there'll be like more
Much even
stuff
more
you'll
sense.
understand, and it will make more sense. And if you're a fan
I mean,
of the
it's
comics,
like-
you'll love it.
I mean, it's like you understood who that guy in the Avengers movie was. I mean, I don't know who the hell that
I
was.
can't remember his name without looking at it now. But yeah, I knew roughly who he was. Like, I haven't read many of the comics, and to be fair, I can't claim that I'm actually collect the comics personally. But I've been into the Marvel universe for ages, so I've watched a lot of the TV shows and a lot of basically all of the movies. So I'm very aware of that universe, even though I haven't personally read the comic books. I know enough about the universe through watching the other forms of media
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's all on the subject of movies, isn't it? I mean, I've talked about my movies I've watched, and you've talked about movies
I mean,
you've
unless there's any other TV series you want to talk about.
TV series, and I found TV's been getting worse recently, so I haven't really bothered. The only thing is I've really watched You've Been Framed, and any shows involving people getting hurt, and I get to laugh with them.
I mean, you should definitely watch Marvel's Agents of
I
S.H.I.E.L.D.
might do that. But, of course, university student free time is very limited.
That's
So-
a lousy excuse.
It's the best excuse I can come up with, and I get to make video games and animations, and you need me, so fuck off.
that is unfortunately true.
Plus, I get to go to uni and get a cup of tea whenever I want for free. So,
Wow. I mean, if you get free tea, that's all you really need, isn't it?
for the British! Anyway, final subject, Warhammer, I believe.
Okay, so
Well, final subject for today.
Yeah, you've been talking quite a bit. You know more about it. I don't really keep up with Warhammer actively because, I stick with orcs and I'm all for orcs. So, what's come out of the Warhammer world recently?
Well, recently my brother started playing Warhammer, and of course that's allowed me to
We
get
should
right.
crush him.
I've done it 10 times. He plays mids. His army's slowly getting bigger, more terrifying each time.
About to say, if he's playing this, how are you crushing him?
Because his army slowly equates to your size. Without your pocket weapon.
Yeah.
But his army's slowly getting more and more terrifying. And here's what
We'll pause it.
no, I can't pause it.
What do you mean you can't pause it?
Can't pause it. No pause button.
Okay, then
Yeah,
just keep
just
playing.
cut
We'll
it
cut it out.
Did you see my cat? Oh, that's fine. It's alright, I hadn't seen her downstairs. She was badgering us because we were cooking it.
He's asleep in the window.
That's alright. As long as
People
I'm
like
not-
cuddly cats. All we got to say.
Yeah, we have to cut this out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Hold on. In fact, we could leave it in just to prove that she's a pain in the ass.
Cruelty to your sister. When she'll beat you up, don't hurt you. She knows you know she'll kick your ass.
Yeah, probably true.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your recording. I didn't realise you guys were recording.
Okay.
It's his idea.
Hey, man. Always blame me.
It's normally your fault.
I plan to.
Hi guys, Joey Taylor. I'm gonna kick his ass later. See ya.
Okay, we'll probably cut that out, but I don't know.
And that was William's sister.
Okay, so
Anyway, back to Warhammer. My brother's slowly getting a bigger army, and it's getting more terrifying. And that's led me to hear some rather disturbing news. Armies have been upgraded recently. Space Marines have got 3 new units. Orcs have got 4 new units. And
out of
everyone's
interest, as an orc player, what new units are?
I believe they got a new aircraft unit, which is an apocalypse weapon.
You mean that one?
No. New.
Newer than the bomber, because this came out like last year.
No, it's a new one. Why is your bomber missing its wing?
It fell off.
Like I accidentally destroyed the stomp.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. What
Back to it. Tower have got nothing. Eldar have been slightly upgraded with a new Titan unit.
Oh yeah.
Nids. Oh, and Imperial Guard are just as useless as ever. But they're getting more apocalypse weapons and tanks.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing with Imperial Guard is it's all based around the tank.
Recently, Warhammer's entered a new edition, Edition 6. We currently still play Edition 5 because of what we used to. Edition 6 is a bunch of new rules that William will both love and hate, such as you can only get only units in front of the squad can be destroyed by gunfire, so you can't choose which unit dies.
So that makes way more fucking sense.
Orcs get more attacks.
Yes. Sorry. Continue.
Yes, but the whole them being an orc attack is gone.
Wait,
Because
what?
you used to say they're an orc, they get an extra attack. That's gone, but they get bonus attacks.
Well, then that's dumb.
When they
They're
walk, they get
orcs,
3
they get
times the
extra.
attacks, something like that.
But they're orcs, they get an extra attack.
When they walk, they get 3 times the attacks, not
Okay.
2 times.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but then it makes them really retarded after the first attack.
Just shut up.
No, I'm just saying, like, the problem with that is, okay, that's great, because in the initial attack, you'll get more attacks. But the problem I'm having with that idea is, like, orcs are all based on their attacks. If you only get 1 attack per turn after the initial wog, orcs become useless in close combat after the initial wog. If you don't wipe out the unit in that first turn, you are dead.
Anyway, back to this story. Nids have kind of been upgraded 6 times in a row because Games Workshop
Yeah,
didn't have enough.
I was about to talk about that because you were mentioning that Nids have recently been really
They have been
upgraded.
heavily upgraded.
But I mean, wasn't there that huge upgrade a while back where like the whole introduction to it was that they were a new hive was discovered on the ice planet?
That isn't the story, but that's been around for about a year or so now.
Yeah, but I mean that was the last major Nid upgrade, and there hasn't been another major other army upgrade between there.
They felt this basically means the 2 have had an upgrade. They have no apocalypse units. Their apocalypse armies are made up by small squads.
I mean, surely if they're going to upgrade a unit, they should be thinking more along the lines of Eldar because they're the
Eldar got a Titan now. They got a giant Soul Titan.
that's a good
I'm
point.
not sure what it's called.
Yeah.
But
And I don't like this move that they've been making recently where, for some reason, orcs have become more aerial-based.
I feel that's kind of smart in a way because orcs are heavily ground, but they've got no air. I mean, seriously, what are you going to do when a Space Marine strike usually comes in?
True, but it seems weird that they're focusing on air for orcs, considering their main thing is charging and get loads of attacks.
Yeah, the tower received new aerial units, but that's a limited thing, the apocalypse one. The Nids, on the other hand, have received several new heavy flyers which can spawn smaller units like gargoyles, 7 new heavy ground units can spawn things, and multiple heroes, because they didn't have enough heroes. I mean, the old heroes consisted of Gene Stilo leader, old One Eye, the old Zoanthrope, the Doom and Valentine, which was an Eldar killer in most cases, and hated psychics. So if you had a psychic army, you were fucked. So don't play Grey Knights.
But yeah, it just seems weird that they're focusing on Tyrannid quite a lot.
Well, I feel it's smart because Tyranids are meant to be a heavily advanced and evolving race, but they're not getting very upgraded. They've also got a new rule that as long as the unit unit is based on something, you can upgrade them in any way you want, as long as they're based on the certain stats of another unit.
I mean, what you just
Like
said,
a hive town of 3 claws and a blooming great big gun.
what you just said does make sense because the whole idea behind Tyrannid is what they eat and what they consume.
They become. Kind of like the Crute,
But
but more heavily.
There's a little that seems a little weird that yes they should be focusing on Tyrannid for that reason, but they're kind of ignoring the other armies and. Necron should also be expanding at that kind of rate because more stuff is coming out.
Necrons I haven't heard the news of recently, so I've heard they got a few news, but I'm not sure how big they are.
But Necron should be expanding at the same kind of rate because of their backstory is that they're coming out of this void thing which was created, and it should be getting more and more different types of Necrons coming out over the
I'm pretty sure
years.
it's going to end up being a massive battle between Necrons and Nids.
I mean, yeah,
Which basically means in the middle going forward, the Emperor and the Imperial Guard crying next to the Orcs, hugging the Grots. I'm sure that's how it's going to end.
Well, yeah, if they actually did like full canon for the story.
Of course, Chaos Demons Ravens to that, of course.
Yeah, how I've always imagined it is because orcs can never truly be wiped out. They'd be on like a couple of planets.
Yes.
And Necrons would just be there right
the
now.
The Nid story currently is in the last codexes you've read of. They invaded the Orc Octavian system. That is now gone.
How? Wait, did they destroy all the mushrooms?
They destroyed the planets.
Yeah, but they're still spores.
No. They wiped the planets.
Yeah, but the spores will still survive.
No, because they take all organic stuff in it. They absorb it in. So even the mushrooms will be gone because they're organic.
Wait, actually, that pulls out this really interesting idea. Because if Nids what they consume, they become. If they consume the orc spore,
they should become clonable.
They should be. Well, not only that, they should also become orcish.
This is where the funny parts come in. Because the Nids, everyone thought the Nids would go in and completely destroy the Orcs, and the Orcs wipe the Nids. Ended up with the Nids only just winning on each planet. You'd go to each planet.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, the Orc systems are absolutely chock full of Orcs. And even though there's millions of Nids, there's as many Orcs, and I haven't read the Codex.
I'm not sure if it was Hive Leviathan or Hive Behemoth, whichever it was. They invaded the first planet. Destroyed all the Orcs there after years, but the Orcs pretty much went down to a small group of the Nids or hardly anything. So they moved on to the next planet, did their usual Gene Stealer tactic after building up the army from the remains of the Orcs from the last planet, and they slowly keep getting wiped down. So when they left, they were no different at all, except they had a few new strength upgrades and stuff like that. So they just changed their size. As soon as they left, though, they crashed into another hive, which was smaller, and they dominated and took over. The hive mind now is destroyed.
That's interesting because I haven't read them, but was there any particular orc leaders leading any of these planets, or was it just generic orcs?
I believe at this time the orc leader who was there, which was Gazkol, had left on another warg, so the orcs there were leading.
I was to say, because if Gazkol was there, then the Nids probably wouldn't have won.
If Gazkol was there, or the public strategist was there, they would have
To be fair, that also makes sense when they had so much trouble, because if it was one of Gazkol's planets, they would have been very advanced for orcs, and they would have had a lot of experience in battle.
These orcs are very smart. I mean, Nids approached, they swapped to flamethrowers to wipe out the small Nids. Whenever the Nids adjusted to that, they changed weapons to deal with that.
Yeah, because if they were like Gazkol's,
I mean, this is the same. Apparently the orcs in this learned that from the Tau and Imperial Guard fight against Nids when they allied together to fight the Nids.
Yeah.
Whenever the Nids got strong against last cannon, Tau would come up front with other slug rounds, like common day guns, and shoot them down so the armor could stand up. So they keep swapping between the two and eventually win.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But the Nids couldn't keep up quick enough, and Nids too many for the orcs to handle, so they eventually both died down. The Nids are only just surviving, so when they left, they had pretty much the same size army, but less, and they couldn't crash into another hive.
Yeah.
This, of course, gave us always had plenty of room to upgrade their units.
Yeah.
They've taken an impound unit to Malantine, which had 10 wounds and could regain it whenever it felt like by absorbing wounds from nearby enemies, allies, or psychics.
What was I thinking? Because actually, thinking about Nids and the whole hive mind idea, not talking about Warhammer directly, but have you noticed that over the years, this whole concept of a hive mind has become really popular?
It is. I can see why, because you can work so much with it.
I mean, when was it? It was first introduced in
Aliens.
No, I think it was the DC comics, right?
I'm not sure, but Aliens pretty much made it popular with their hive mind style society of aliens.
Yeah, because I know that in the DC comic books, there was a kind of a B colony bad guy who used the hive mind concept, and then Tyranids started using hive minds as well. And it was also introduced in Dead Space.
I think Nids are basically created from aliens, when the alien made it popular. Nids were based off of them because they appeared shortly after.
Yeah, and then it was recently used in the Dead Space.
In Dead Space, but we don't talk about Dead Space recently because Dead Space 3 I feel was a bit lit down. But I felt Dead Space still been horror.
Like, I like Dead Space 3, and I don't normally like shooters because it was a really nice way to end the series, and it made a lot of sense.
And I liked it because it's still heavily plot based. It worked.
Yeah.
Unlike Call of Duty, so that there's no plot to it at all. It's
Yeah,
like,
it made, like,
let's shoot them.
the ending of Dead Space 3, I felt, it was a little disappointing because, it wasn't as horror-based as the original game. But even the second one wasn't that horror-based. They never made any attempt past the first game to continue that horror because they wanted the first game horror-based. But, by the second game, you gotta remember they're using the same character. So by the second game, he's, more aware of what, the Necronorths are, and he's not going to be as affected by the horror. It's mostly going to be, I'm going to freaking murder these bastards.
And by Dead Space 3, it's pretty much that's it. I've had enough. Let's kill them.
Yeah, and it was a really nice way to end the series, and I thought it was really well done.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Warhammer. That's about it for the Nids. The Nids have received plenty of new units.
Yeah.
I mean, one unit, I believe, can spawn Hormagaunts and Termagants at will, but if it
those
dies,
are base Nid units.
they're basically the simple
Yeah.
swarm units. And upgraded, if the leader dies, then they die.
Yeah.
The whole links.
So it's kind of Necron-ish.
Necron, if the marker dies, they die.
Yeah.
If this thing which created them dies, they dies with it.
Okay.
But it also means it needs to have a constant infinite supply of troops until that thing dies, which is a terrifying concept for most armies like Orcs.
That's pretty, because
that
that's
makes
the whole
sense.
thing with Necrons as well, because...
Necrons can respawn themselves if they
Yeah.
don't strike quick enough, which makes sense.
Yeah. But, I don't know why they're introducing
And another
that
thing
in
I've heard from a rumour, Sisters of Battle might be coming back. They stopped making them years ago. They might be coming back.
Yeah.
This might just be a rumour at the minute, but I've heard they've started remaking some models for that. Forge World and Heavy Metal have started designing some new units for
That
it.
was very Bristolian, by the way.
And that's how they pronounce Heavy Metal.
You said Evie.
That's it, Heavy. There's no H at the beginning, it's Heavy Metal.
Right, okay, fair enough.
I
sounded
know what I'm
really
saying, you
Bristolian,
dirty
didn't it?
shites.
It sounded really Bristolian. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, yeah, so instead of taking a look at my Bristolian, you dirty cunts, that'll be but the count too. Yes, this is Battle for the Comeback rumour, but all of you fans who don't like the common Space Marines and Orcs being, Space Marine overpowered Orc being, I'm going to swarm you until you're dead. So this is Battle making quite decent unit, but they're also some of the, they are quite overpowered in their own aspects. I mean, against certain units, they could easily wipe out most armies, but they're expensive because all units were metal. Every single unit, troop of them was metal, and they had to be built separately.
Yeah, because that was with Killicans as well. Because
Yeah.
Killicans are a really important unit for Orcs, but you could only get them one at a time, and they were really big metal units. And the problem I have now is I have a metal Killican, and I want more Killicans, but because mine's metal, and you get them in packs of 3 now, I would end up with 3 Killicans, which would make my metal one too many for a squad. So I've been trying to work out whether there's any way I can upgrade, mod it into a Dreadnought.
That's a new Orc
Death Dread.
rule. That's a new Orc rule. If you mod it, you can mod it to anything you want to upgrade it to, like Death Dread or whatever the next upgrade is.
There is no.
There is now.
Oh, is it? There's one past Death Dread.
Yes.
Okay, because the only thing past Death Dread before was that Stomper.
Yeah, but otherwise I got a new upgrade from what I've heard from my brother. Otherwise, in terms of upgrades, Space Marines have received a new Terminator unit, the Praetorian Terminators, which are pretty much Dreadnoughts with Terminators in Dreadnought armor.
Yeah.
Which is a terrifying concept to all players. They've received a new aerial unit, which I don't believe is very good. And they've received a new hero, which I believe is another librarian, but I'm not sure. Orcs have received a new flying unit. More ground units, I believe, are anti-tank based.
Ooh, that would be
And
useful.
the new Dreadnought, the new Dreadnought style unit.
Yeah.
Tau
Death
have
Dread.
been heavily upgraded in tanks and one air Apocalypse. Eldar have received only one upgrade, and that's from Titan.
Yeah, you've been.
Yeah, Chaos have nothing new. I've gathered, maybe from Daemons. Oh yeah, the Daemon army is now.
Demon.
No, it's Daemon in this one. DAE.
So dumb. Never mind, sorry.
DAE, don't blame me. I agree with this. Very big Demon, but it's Daemon. Either way, Imperial Guard, more tank upgrades. Apparently they got a new artillery unit, which is overpowered as fuck. Oh, and Space Marines and Imperial Guard have now been separated into 2 chapters. different chapters, like Codex and Grade, but every chapter has its own special rules, and the Imperial Guards have new units like Death Corps, what is it, Death Corps, which is pretty much what the last guys are, and the other basic squad armies that everyone knows about, like the Acadian army and stuff like that. But each has its own perks.
Okay, so we've been talking for quite a while about Warhammer.
Yeah, of course.
Is there any other things that you find interesting that, just fit into any form of nerdom?
Well, we could talk about our D&D, but there's no point in that right now.
I mean, Dungeons and Dragons is
D&D is quite a popular thing with nerds nowadays, isn't it?
I mean, well, it's been popular for quite a while. I mean,
yeah,
it
but
was first introduced in the 80s.
Yeah, but now it's going online and stuff, and it's much more easily accessible.
The use of Roll20, which is an online table, basically an online Dungeons and Dragons table, was made the use of
D&D very, very easy
and pretty interesting because you can do it online and you don't have to be in the same room.
It's much simpler to handle, I think. You know what? No pieces to keep safe, no boards to build up.
Yeah,
and
you can keep all your assets online.
The other thing you got to worry about is the plot from there, which works rather well because we've got a pretty decent DM being William here, and a new DM person, Charlie.
Well, Charlie's been DMing a lot longer than me.
Really? I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he doesn't do it for us, but he's been DMing a lot longer than me. But it's really nice because there's essentially two DMs in our groups.
Yeah.
It allows me and Charlie to talk back and forth and get ideas for each other's campaign.
I mean, I've been started thinking I should do my own DMing when I'm either in a summer holiday, got plenty of time to have a plot, or when I have some decent plot, which I'm pretty sure you'll be able to have it with, because you know it's good enough or not.
Yeah, I mean, recently I bought the 4E manuals. And I know a lot of people really don't like 4E because 4E has some really weird rules and a lot of people don't like it. But I've been reading through the monster manual. And some of the monsters in the 4th edition rules are really interesting. I'm looking forward to using them. But yeah, Roll20 has been really interesting, and actually they're planning an update for it. Because one of the main problems with Roll20 at the minute is the lack of character sheet. And one of the main updates for that is going to be they're going to introduce a new character sheet, which is more similar to how character sheets really look. So that should be quite interesting because it's something that character sheets can be really confusing in real D&D. That's why I generally avoid using them when I can.
Yeah.
But they are useful once you learn how to use them properly. And the other interesting update is, I don't know if you know this, but I expect you probably will. That when you online rolling, when you go log on to any server that has any form of automatic online dice rolling, it has a seed, so it will have different seeds, and depending on what the seed is, you'll get different types of rolls. Like there was one time on Roll20 where I logged in and I literally was either rolling 20 or 1 practically all the time. And one of the things they're introducing in the update for Roll20 is they're going to try and make dice more truly random, rather than having
random
the
dice
seeds.
is actually really easy to make, but it depends what you're coding with. I mean, C++, coding a random dice generator is very easy, like it's 5 lines and that's it.
Yeah.
But they might be using Java or HTML scripts, and that's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's because to get dice normally you have to have some form of seed, otherwise the dice rolling doesn't work properly. But they're trying to, what Roll20 are currently working on is removing that seed, which will make the dice rolling truly random and make for more stable dice rolling and more interesting games, rather than just having, today you're randomly rolling all natural ones against them rolling 20s, which, as we've proved in some of our games, is devastating to the party when Roll20 is
constantly rolling 20s, like my recent character. How dear the batter.
Well, no, I was rolling that on normal
died.
I was rolling that on normal dice. You were just rolling really badly. Because
I'm sorry, how was I could call bullshit because I didn't see your dice.
Yeah, I was rolling on real dice. Get over it.
You just killed me off because you were fed of me trying to do sneak attacks and shit. You were just fed of my character not dying.
No, I didn't deliberately kill your character.
Anyway, I do love my new ninja character in Chinese D&D. Decapitated dwarf, and then I instantly brought. As soon as I brought in, the one had to come back because you two can't keep an egg safe.
I blame your people for that. But let's not go into too much detail about
Technically, I
the
blame
individual
Charlie because he
campaigns.
gave me the chance. Charlie's like instantly they opened fire. Like, no, I did not order my soldiers because I did.
Oh no, that was the elephant.
To do it.
That was the elephant.
Oh yeah, the elephant.
Yeah.
Your guys.
Basically, people who are confused, basically in one of the campaigns, my character, the one is the campaign I'm not DMing, has this rod that can summon one of three animals: an elephant, a rhino, or a mouse. And I decided just to summon this elephant in the middle of.
No, you were trying to summon an ostrich.
Oh no, I wanted
tried
a
to summon-
bird. I wanted a bird, but because my character obviously doesn't know that the rod can't actually produce a bird because he's only used it a couple of times.
So
And I wanted
elephant.
a bird, yeah.
And anyone who knows D&D knows that elephants are the most overpowered goddamn creature, or one of the most overpowered creatures within it.
Well, they're the most powerful natural animal.
Yeah. So after this elephant appeared, my entire ninja hitman squad was wiped.
It took out the entire town.
The entire town was nearly razed to the ground.
Yeah.
Most survivors ended up hating our little sprite that was trying to do to a werewolf. Story for another time.
Yeah, I mean, we can't get into too much detail about the individual campaigns, but
No, but we'll do that another time when you've got more
Yeah.
time on it. After a lot of fighting, you finally brought the elephant down, and we decided after all things considered,
Well,
we
no,
should
to
blame
be fair,
Josh.
we didn't take the elephant down. Basically, we ran away like pussies and let the
No, no,
town
no,
guard
no.
take it down
You
from 1
ran.
HP.
You ran. Me and Josh tried to deal with it. Myself
And then you ran as well.
we had this when myself and his squad was killed,
Yeah.
and Josh nearly got me killed because
Yeah.
he was like,
Yeah, we saved the town and the entire town guard got wiped by this elephant.
But turned out to do
1
what-
HP.
2 health, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was
pretty
killed
good.
after I laid 1 damage on it, and then Josh, Sprite, which in this game magic creatures are not trusted, he threw a rock at it, and it spread a fire, and the creature died.
It was
because
pretty
DM
good.
has a 6th sense of humour.
Yeah.
Either way, things considered, D&D is very crazy.
And it is really fun because it's all based off of like the creativity of both the players and the DM. Although like DMing a campaign can be quite difficult and challenging because you have to consider that the players are going to do stuff you don't expect. Like how I used to DM.
It made no sense what you did, really.
How I tried to DM before is I would have like plans laid out, like you can go in one path or another, but you know that's railroading the character.
That's all well and good if your party are willing to follow it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, characters want to go to the whorehouses or
Yeah.
fight it and go into an exploder's cave because they see something shiny at the bottom of it, or hell chasing the little rabbit through a forest.
So yeah, like how I have to DM now is especially with your party because the party that you normally
Is diverse.
are crazy. So you know I'll have like things that I want to happen in the campaign at some point, but basically have a free-flowing campaign that's entirely dependent on the characters, which means every now and again I have to make up something completely random I wasn't expecting, and it would just be funny.
In common Spigs, the characters that I played headed into the Elven Thieves because I work best as a thief with sneaking, and I'm quite good at role-playing them. He died recently, but in past games I played as Elven Rogues, I commonly would go into every house, steal money, carry like 3,000 extra gold. Of course, this meant when William finally got the town guard to catch me, what was it your punishment? I was ordered to be a prostitute for a week.
No, there was a
I
reason
gave
behind that, but I
a
can't remember
plus
that one.
flexibility and agility, but I got AIDS.
I can't remember why you ended up as...
Because I stole from
No,
the
no,
entire
no, it
village.
wasn't that. He was going to throw you in jail, but you did something to piss off the judge.
Oh, I stole from him when I walked past.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I stole from him when I walked past and I insulted his wife and his daughter.
Ah, yeah.
Mainly by saying, no, my bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course, diverse D&D means you can do whatever you want.
in the campaign that I'm playing, not
So-
DMing.
It's a bit more serious, but not much more.
Yeah, I play a 9-foot-tall black minotaur.
Which is currently disrespected by
Who is a
predators,
monk.
but no one likes
It's
it. by gamers.
beautiful. Oh no, you know, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I play a ninja. Other teammates I haven't either met and seen in it yet, or the only other one who did was a sprite who got killed after I ripped his arm off. I was still
No,
explaining
you chopped his arm off. I wanted to rip his arm off.
You still did not explain why I had to chop his arm off or rip it off.
I got bitten by a hydra in a swamp, and it was infected. infected and pus-ridden, and it had to go basically. Otherwise, it would.
So you told me to top it off when he had 1 HP left. When I could do at least 35 damage in a simple non.
I would like to point out that that character only has 4 intelligence.
I mean, what? I can do a good attack, sneak attack.
Again,
sneak back attack.
my character only has 4 intelligence.
I mean, a sneak back attack, I can do 8 to 9 d6. You told me to do a front attack with my Daitana, which is a 2-handed katana for people who like weapons, and top his armor. I failed the first hit and knocked it off in the second, so he bled out and died almost instantly.
Yeah. Okay, so we're at the roughly at the 1 hour 30 mark. I mean, I think we have to cut a couple of things out there.
Yeah, your sister interferes with that.
But
Either way, just for information, this will not always be a blank video. We will have animations, funny pictures, and video clips of what we're talking about going on in the background.
Yeah.
And of course, we will be taking a piss out of each other, and we'll have other people coming to join us.
Occasionally, not all the time.
Not all the time.
It will mostly just be me and
I mean,
James.
currently we're not very good on PC gaming, so our friend Jacob will come along and help us out. Most shooters
PC
we
stuff,
get.
I started playing StarCraft.
That's
I'm
one
in
game.
with the
One
hardcore
game.
I'm in with the hardcore PC gamers.
You're not Korean. Shut off.
Yeah.
We need people who are better at sports games, shooting games. Probably ignore it entirely.
But you also need to consider that this podcast isn't just about video games.
We also need people who are better at movies. I mean, Jacob's also very versed in movies and the internet, so he knows what's going on.
So, I mean, basically, the podcast will cover what we have today, which is various things in just what nerds enjoy in general, what we enjoy as well. And if you, like, anyone who actually does listen to this, if you have any ideas of what you'd like us to talk about,
if you like to talk about anything, that'd be all good, but we're not all fond of shooting games, football games, stuff like that, so we won't really talk about
if there's a lot of talk about, we want you to talk about, like, this particular shooter game, either if we can get it for cheap, we'll play it ourselves, or we'll introduce
I probably have it, and my brother will get it one way or another, so we can probably talk about it quite easily. And we'll also do Let's Play sometimes, we're talking about the history of the company and the game in the background.
Yeah, I mean, because recently been buying a lot of the history books about video games, the ultimate history of video games, and how Nintendo conquered America. So I've been learning a lot about the history of games. So that will be introduced in later episodes. So it will be a varied podcast, and we'll talk about a lot of different things that will appeal to different people.
Of course, this won't be anything with them because we'll be playing games over the top of that, so no one gets bored if we're just talking about stuff they don't really interested in until they come to something that they like, say, like anime, but you like gaming. So we'll talk about that during the top of the game.
So, this has been the first episode.
Yeah, first episode. Thanks for listening, guys.
I've been
William Marks.
If you weren't William Lawson, I want to know who the hell you are.
I am James Fish. I have not been James Fish. I am always James Fish. This guy thinks he's been someone else, but apparently I don't know. He may have been the cat. Say hello, Jesse.
Okay, so thanks for listening, and we'll see you next episode.
See you next episode. Comment if you wanted us to talk about something.
Bye, guys.